Board of Appeals to order. The applicant for 61 Middlesex Turnpike is here. You can just come up and introduce yourselves and give us a overview of the application.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Thomas Murphy here on behalf of Noria Corp., who's the applicant. With me is the sign contractor. Who's going to be available to address any technical questions the board might have. But essentially, Mr. Chairman, by way of background, this is the property down Middlesex Turnpike. We have a Shell gas station. Combined two properties, knocked down the old D'Angelo sub shop, built a new gas station, pumps, canopy, the whole 9 yards. They're getting close to the end of the construction phase, and so they sent their sign proposal into the building department for review. And the building inspector, in his response, identified some that complied, some that did not. I believe his letter was actually incorporated into the legal notice that went out for today's hearing. In that letter, there were 5, letter A through E, signs proposed. First one, sign A, needs relief, and that's what we're here for tonight. B and C, according to the building inspector's letter, both complied, so no relief is needed for B and C. They're included on the notice, which is why I'm just addressing them, but there's no relief needed from that. On sign D, the building inspector noted that the dimensions didn't fit, so that relief was needed there. My client went back through the sign contractor. They reduced the sign of the proposed sign, the size of the proposed sign, so that it did comply. So the building department has okayed that and issued a permit for that as well. Sign E, which is another one he identified as needing some kind of relief, was going to be showing the price per gallon hanging up on the canopy. The client decided not to bother with that sign, so they just withdrew their application for sign E. So even though there are A, B, C, D, and E noted in the letter that's attached to the legal notice, the only one that's on the table for discussion this evening from our perspective is sign A. That's the only relief that we need. Now, sign A is a proposed, I actually have a bunch of copies here. I don't know what you guys got for materials, but I've kind of highlighted. Sign A is a logo sign for Noria Corp. It's going to be located on the front wall above the front door. On the sign that's circulating, or the plan that's circulating, it shows where the location is, and it shows the design of the sign. The sign as proposed is roughly 4 feet by 4 feet. It's kind of a circular design, but the dimensions are 4 feet by 4 feet. As the building inspector noted in his letter, it's been classified as a marquee sign, and in the marquee sign, that has a set amount of square footage, and this exceeds that square footage. Now, as you can see, if you look at the picture of the front of the building at the bottom left of the plan that I just passed out, when the building was designed, they made, for lack of a better term, an architectural design for the front door. Instead of just having a flat front across the whole length of the building, the planning board wanted to make a kind of a colonial style motif. They asked that they, try to make some aesthetic enhancements to the front of it. So what you see there is it appears to be where the front door is, it just has a structure above it to make it stand out from just the flat front of the building. In reality, it only comes out a foot or two if you go down there and look at it. But by adding that architectural feature, Under the building department's description and opinion, that made it a marquee sign. If it was just, if this had been designed just as a flat front building, the bylaws allow a sign on each side of the business, 4 feet high, and it can go the whole length of the structure. So the proposed sign here is 4 feet high. So if this wasn't a marquee architectural feature in the front, this sign would be legal, because it's 4 feet high and it could go as far as it wants. So by kind of enhancing the aesthetic looks of the front, we went from a front sign that we had the whole length of the building to use if we wanted to a marquee sign, which we had somewhat more of a limited area that we could use. So that's essentially the relief that we're asking for, is that the board allow the applicant to put his logo sign as designed, 4 feet by 4 feet, in the area right above the front door. I would point out a couple of things. One, we went along with the planning board's recommendation because we needed, obviously, their site plan approval back 7 or 8 months ago when we permitted this, to enhance the aesthetics. That called for a different style building than the client had planned to put there. This one costs a little bit more to build, a little bit more to design, to get this type of an architectural look. And my hope is that the board will take that into consideration, that by doing that, that's why we're here tonight. If this was just designed as a flat front building, it might not look as nice, but we'd be able to put the sign in here without any further action of the board. So essentially, by agreeing to the upgraded design that the planning board wanted, kind of put us in this position here that we're asking for relief from this board. I would also point out that the company just recently built a very similar building, same design, down in Milford, I believe it was. And they've done this in other buildings. Their standard logo sign is a 6 by 6 sign. If you go down to Milford, you'll see that's what it is there, and in a lot of other buildings. What we're asking for here is substantially smaller than that. That's 36 square feet. This one here is 4 by 4. It's about 16 square feet. So I think the applicant has shown good faith in trying to keep this to a minimum. He wouldn't be here at all if he didn't agree to the planning board's request to make the building look nicer. He's backed off a couple of the other ones, withdrew the one that was going to be on the side of the canopy, made the other one smaller to comply with the building department, rather than come before you asking for another variance to deal with that one. So, long and short, Mr. Chairman, I would submit that the applicant here has used good faith in dealing with the town. He's worked with the town, and we would ask for the board's consideration in granting the relief to allow this logo sign with about 16 square feet of size be placed in front of the building. Happy to answer any questions. Mike Durant from Norio is here, and sign contractors is here, and happy to answer any questions the board might have.
Sure. Thank you. I just have one question before we kind of open it up to the board. So sign B, C, and D, are they all permitted at this point?
Yes.
They all have approved permits? All right.
I've actually got a copy of it if you need it.
No, I don't need it. Just want to make sure they're permitted. Typically, if we approve a, permit like this, a lot of times we'll put a no sign even if I write, so I don't have to come back here for a already permitted sign. So, okay, sounds good. All right, we can open it up. We'll start with Rob.
I have no questions.
I guess, what are the hours of operation at this location?
Mike Durant with Maria Energy. To answer your question, our hours would be 24 hours.
That's what we're intending to open with.
Okay. So you'd like the signs lit 24/7 essentially, because you're open that whole time then?
As long as we're open, we'd like to have the signs illuminated. But if we're closed for whatever reason, then, yeah, the signs could get turned off.
Thank you, that was my only question.
So you withdrew sign E, which would be the fuel price. You're not gonna have any signs saying what the fuel price are. The digital signs you're used to seeing with a gas station, you're not gonna have anything other than just what's on the top of the pumps.
It would be on the top of the pumps, and then on the pump itself, it displays the individual prices.
Yeah, when you're standing at it. So driving down the road, usually they're like about this big. Each of them, you show the individual prices, so you're not planning to have that at all?
Not at this point.
Okay. Yeah, that's my only question at the moment.
So, Tom, you said 4x4, but are you just estimating because sign A here is 4,
It's actually 48 inches by 50.18 inches, so,
all right.
so
So
it's a little bit, yeah, I didn't do the actual
all
math.
right, I know,
50 inches by 48 inches.
okay.
Yeah, we believe the restriction was the 4-foot height, and that's how the logo proportionally scales out with the 4-foot height.
Okay,
So
yeah,
it's not a perfect square, but it's close.
yeah. You know, the regular, 90 lumens per square foot on the lighting, that it doesn't
Yeah,
exceed
Yeah, we're
that.
familiar with we do a lot of signs in town, done a lot of stuff up at the Third Ave. Just did O'Reilly Auto Parts, so we're familiar with town requirements.
Right. Other than that, I have no other questions at this time.
Joe?
Yeah, nothing really, other than you're just 6 square feet over the norm, right? Town allows 10 square feet, you're asking for 6.8?
They allow 6 on a marquee sign.
6?
Yeah, and it's basically because it goes above the
So
roof
you're
line,
asking
it's
for 10.
classified as a marquee.
Yeah.
But had it been, like you said, a wall sign down below, not across that roof line, we would have been allowed a lot larger sign.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, we were told by the building inspector, it's more of a technical thing to come here as far as the way that this is set up and the way the building architecture is. But yeah, basically it's going from 6 to 16, but we use the 4-foot height requirement as a wall sign as our guide. So
right,
rather than doing something larger.
Yeah, I have no further questions.
All right, thanks. I have a couple of questions. The sign, the 4-foot, it's 4-foot by 4.2 in a box. Do you know what the actual diameter of the sign is? Is it, assuming it's less, but like, is there, for the length?
Well, the circle's a 4-foot diameter. The reason why it's not a perfect 4-foot by 4-foot is the Nuria sticks
Okay.
out certainly. So I guess if you did either true square, you'd have to go by the bigger dimension, but the height is 4 feet and the Nuria comes off of that diameter.
Okay. I had another question. Where'd it go? Oh, so I just want to kind of orient myself to the site a little bit. So it looks like you have a Noria's Kitchen sign. Is that, which sign is that? Is that sign C? Or is that sign B? Is that on this application at all? Just so I can kind of see which one is which.
It's either B or C.
Can't see that chart.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, yeah, it does say it. I got it, yeah, this sign B.
Sign C.
The narrative would be.
It's sign C.
C? Okay.
So.
The Cafe Noria is sign type C, and the,
Amano's is sign type B.
Okay. And then, so, the other question I have is there's like a shell sign on there. Is that just,
Those are the Campy signs.
Okay.
That was sign D, and
Okay.
when they were first proposed, they were 4-foot by 4-foot, but they extended, the Campy's actually 36 inches tall, so they extended above the Campy fascia, and then the building inspector said that nothing was allowed to extend over the Campy fascia, so we revised the drawing to 3 by 3.
Yep.
And that brought it within compliance, so that's why we didn't have to apply for a special permit for those.
Okay, all right, so, no, it makes sense, makes much more sense now, thanks. All right, I don't have any other questions at this moment. I think that the sign itself is appropriate for the area. I think if you shrunk it down too much more, you'd barely be able to see it, so I'm kind of okay with the size. If I don't have any other comments, nobody else has any comments, I'll open it up to the public. This is a public hearing.
I have one comment.
Sure.
This one's actually not even related to the sign, so I actually had people reach out to me saying, oh, that building's really close to the road. I had to pull up the plan. You're 15 feet in the setback, which is allowed into business general. It looks like there's gonna be a wall with the outdoor patio seating area. How tall is that gonna be? Or is that a curb that I'm looking at on the plan?
Well, the wall will be on the sidewalk, so if you add the height of the sidewalk plus the wall, which, don't quote me, I want to say is roughly 30 inches tall.
I'm just thinking along the lines of sight line and people getting in and out of the driveway there. So, just kind of a general question, nothing related to the sign. That's all I have, thank you.
Well, it's a public hearing, so we'll open it up to the public. Is anybody here to speak for or against? Seeing none. Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so if there's no other comments, I want to talk about how we want to split this out, because we can't withdraw, my opinion, and if somebody else has a different opinion, let me know, but we can't withdraw sign E and approve sign A on the same decision.
We'd certainly offer to withdraw sign E without prejudice if the board will allow us to do that, and then to take it off your agenda.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and then we'll just vote to split it. And then sign B, C, and D, I don't think we have to do anything with, because they already have permits for them.
Remember, they're in compliance. It's less than
Yeah,
what was
it's less than what was
on there.
advertised, so. So I would say that we need to, or if somebody is so inclined, we would need to make a motion to split sign A and sign E into two different applications.
If he's taking it off, then he's
So-
withdrawing it, so.
Attorney Murphy, do we have to vote? Would you say that we have to vote to?
We're offering to withdraw it without prejudice. I think you should vote to allow that, to make it clear that it's without prejudice.
Okay. Yeah, I think that, let's just do that. Make it easier. Make me feel better. So we're just gonna vote to split out sign A and sign E to two different applications. Do I need a motion for that?
A motion to bifurcate sign A and sign E as applied for according to the application.
Right.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to split sign A and sign E into two separate applications. All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I think we take sign E first. That's the easy one. Make a motion.
Motion to, what?
Withdraw without prejudice?
Motion to withdraw sign E in accordance with the representations of counsel for the applicant with the condition that it's
Without prejudice?
without prejudice.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to withdraw the application for sign E without prejudice. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now sign A.
Make a motion to approve a sign permit to install marquee sign at 59 to 61 Middlesex Turnpike in accordance with the application, specifically sign A, 4 feet in height by 4.2 feet, 3/4 inches in length, 16.8 square feet,
Plan dated 11/20.
plan dated 11, what'd you say, 11?
20.
11/20/23.
No signs of it.
90 lighting to conform to the the restriction of 90 lumens per square foot, and no other sign, even if by right.
Second.
All right. Motion was made and seconded for 61 Middlesex Turnpike, for one marquee sign, 4 feet in height by 4 foot 2 inches, 2 3/4 inches in length, 16.8 square feet to read Noria. As shown on plans dated 11/20/23. Condition of not to exceed 90 lumens per square foot, and no other signs, even if by right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're all set.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you,
Thank you.
members of the board.
So we have the minutes for January 16th. I think we're still looking for that. We're still looking to refine that a little bit more, revise it a little bit more. So I'm going to ask for a continuance to our next meeting, which is March.
No.
Oh, March 5th.
Because that's an election day, right?
Oh,
All right. March
Oh.
19th.
gotcha. Motion to continue the minutes of January 16th, 2024 to the meeting on March 19th, 2024.
Seconded.
Motion has been made and seconded to continue the meeting minutes from January 16th, 2024 to March 19th, 2024. All those in favor?
Aye.
Then February 6th, did everybody get the minutes for that meeting?
Yes.
All right.
Motion to approve the minutes of February 6th,
Second?
2024.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes for February 6th, 2024. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any other business?
No. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.